Hello and welcome to part 4 of the tutorial series. I just finished making it and it was very long. A lot of bugs we ran into, so I'll cut those parts out, but we got a lot done. We made the game a lot better, so I'll give you a walkthrough on what we're about to do. I am going to put the scripts inside of the description, so because it's such a long video, if you guys don't want to follow along, take the scripts and replace it with what you have now. And I do recommend watching the full thing. I'll put the whole place in the description if I can. I don't know if that's possible, but I do recommend watching the video to where you would understand like how it works, because that's the whole point, is teaching. The whole point of making these videos is to teach you. It's not just about making a Loons game in general, let's get it done. It's about like, hey, what's the process of making a game? So and running into bugs and taking forever is part of the process. So anyway, I'll show you now what our script does. So we can hit play, and it does pretty much the same thing. After 10 seconds, it teleports you inside of your room, or 5 seconds, I mean. So anyway, so what's going on is you can see we encased our rooms, make it a little nicer to look at. But you see that we can still go through our doors like so. Now, if you go into the workspace and look at the rooms, you'll see that there's only 7 of them generated. This is for once you get further into the development of the game, you'll notice that it would start lagging when you have 100 rooms loaded, and it'll take forever to load them when the game first starts. So we're only going to have 11 rooms loaded max. So you'll see as we go on, we'll have 11 rooms loaded. So it just deletes some rooms behind you once you're further enough away, and then it creates more, every 5 rooms or so that you reach. So that's what our script does. We pretty much revamped the whole script that we made, back when we first started. So, that one's actually, we're just going to delete it, and we kind of made it into a module script, and it's a lot smoother, a lot less bugs could occur, and we have it to where we have sections that can be added into the game. So if there's so many of like the same kind of room being placed, we can give it a little fun with like maybe making all the rooms in this section dark. So let's say 5 rooms are going to be dark in a row, and then we also made it to where we can have rooms where entities spawn. So selected rooms, we can have entities spawn there, and we don't have entities yet, of course. We haven't made those yet. We'll get into that, but we have some more of this kind of stuff we've got to mess with first. So, yep, I had a lot of fun making it. Please like and subscribe to show support. There's a lot to make these videos, and anything helps. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so this is going to take quite a while, so be patient with me, since it's going to be a pretty big feat that we're trying to complete today. So, to get started, let's go ahead and go to Surface Grid Surface. And I made a boo-boo last time when I closed it. I forgot to save it. So I added pretty much everything back. But if mine looks slightly different in the code, that's why, but it still does the same thing. There's no difference. Okay, so anyway, and plus we're not even using it anymore. We're just using it as a reference. So I know it's really annoying to be like re-scripting stuff to do the same thing we already have, but it's going to be a lot more advanced. So I know that's going to kind of make some of y'all, I don't want to follow this whole thing to do something I already did. So I am going to put the scripts in the description so you guys can just have them. But I do recommend watching it through so you understand what's going on, because it's just a tutorial for learning, I'm not just giving you stuff. So anyway, go to your room generation that you have now and disable it, and then create, and actually rename it too. So in front of room generation, say old dash room generation, so that way you know it's the old one. Okay, and make a new script, and you can rename it new room generation. So you have the script, and then you're also going to create a module script inside of the new script, and you can just call it generation module. So that's that. So go ahead and go into the main script, and we can get the module. So local mod equals require script.generation module, and the way we're going to do it is, I'll explain it as I'm going. Okay, so let's make a number for how many areas or how many rooms we want. So I'm going to say module.room count, and we want 100 rooms, and then, so this will be like our settings. This is going to be a big script, so try to keep it, organized at best. Settings, and then you want to, so I do this thing I call them active variables. Active variables. And these are going to be the ones that change throughout the script, you know, as we're doing stuff. So some things we want is like the room sequence. So instead of just making the rooms, we're going to be making a table that keeps the room that keeps a sequence of the room order. So we'll create the table and then we'll start generating the rooms. So okay, current room number last room, and this is going to be, you know, the last room that was created, just like we did in the other script. And then, like we did in the other script, we're also going to have to record the last direction. And you guys know what current room is, you know, the current room being created. And it's actually the number, so put room number being created. Okay, so the whole reason we're doing this is because we want to have we want to have it to where they can be different sections, like ordered, and we also want to make it to where, you know, we have different rooms towards the beginning than we do towards the end, and it can kind of like, you know, be a smooth transition. So you have like, you know, little pretty rooms at the beginning, and then at the end, you know, it's getting kind of, you know, worn down or something. Like however you want to do it with your game, you're going to want it to be, you know, a little different as it goes on. But we do have some areas that we know where we want them to go. So we're going to call these special rooms. Special. So we're going to go ahead and make it module.special. Sorry, it's taking me forever to type. My fingers don't want to do anything. So we'll make it a table, and we'll make an ID. So this will be the first special area. So of course, room. I don't know why I keep saying. So we're going to want the room name, and this will be the start. And we want the room number, or numbers, because there could be some places that are multiple rooms long, right? Yeah, so make this another table with just one number for it, because this is going to be the spawn, the start, I mean. So we want that, and we want to also make one for, and the order of these don't matter, like you can do the final one here. It doesn't really matter how the IDs go. You can't loop through a table with numbers unless you have that, and we have to loop through it. So that's the best way to do it. So anyway, we'll have an area name, and like let's say we want to have a boss encounter, like an entity encounter. So just for now, I'm only going to have one room for an entity encounter. So we'll call it boss 1. We don't want it to be on the same room every time. I keep doing that, dude. Okay. I could have just copied and pasted that. I should have done that. We don't want it to be on the same room every time, so we can just put a math.random in this, and it should be, and we'll just put it like in the middle, so 40 to 60, somewhere in there. So we'll do that. And then we also know we want the end room. So what is this? 2, so make this 3. And this will just be called end. And we know that we want this on the last room. And then make sure you have your semicolons, or they can be commas at the end of your, to close it. So that's going to be our table of special rooms. I don't know if we're going to have to change this table any. It's not set in stone. We're just getting started. I don't exactly know. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to sort. We're going to want to start creating our room sequence. So of 100 rooms. So we'll create a module function for that. So module.sort sequence. And there's a function. No parameters. So for I equals 1, module.room count do. Stop it with AI. Okay, because I gotta think. We want to see that if it's not a special area, I think. We want to check to see if it's a special area. So we're going to just go ahead and say local special equals nil. And then if special doesn't equal nil, then, actually, let's do if it does equal nil first. So if special equals nil, then we want, sorry, I'm thinking we also want to have it for if special doesn't equal nil. And I'll put this up here, if special doesn't equal nil, if it's not a special room, if it is a special room, if it's not a special room. Okay, so if it is, we want to go ahead, if it is a special room, we want to see what special room it is. So we want to insert it into the table, into the the room sequence. And this is actually going to be a table itself. So do it like this. It's kind of messy. Sorry, I'm just thinking as I go. So we want to get the room type. We want to get the direction of the room, the stuff that we store in the table. And then we also want to get to see if it's in a section. So by section, I mean, like if it's a dark room, if it's a whatever room. So anyway, that's that. So the type is going to be the room name, if it's a special room. So we'll say special room name. And the direction. So for now, let's just make all the special rooms to be a straight room. And then there won't be a section, so just leave that as nil. We have to also check. Okay, so it is going to be a little messy in the sense that we want to generate all the way up until boss 1, and then generate all the way up until end. Or you can split it up to even smaller sections than that. So anyway, if it's not special, we can say table insert, just for now, module.room sequence, and then this light table again. It's going to be like this again. There's different values here, so we want to get, we're going to set this at nil, and we'll have this changed later, and then we'll name the type as, let's do it by levels, so we'll just say level 1. I think that's how we had it. I don't know if we did or if I just thought about it. Okay, so in replicated storage, go to your rooms folder, select left, right, and straight, like so. Actually, just select all the rooms, and then add an attribute, and it will be a string. Wait, I think these have one. I think yes, okay, room type. Okay, so you want to do that for these 3 as well. Straight, right, left, they need a room type. They already have that, okay. So the room type, so this isn't a type, it's a direction. It's a little messy. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and rename these. So for the room type, instead of having their direction, put level 1, spell out 1 like that. That should be on the same page. Level 1, spelled out. Capital case, copy me exactly. And then with this, select them all, and add a new attribute, and call it direction with a capital V, and have it be a string value, and save it. Okay, so now, for all of them, just set the direction to straight, like that, and then go ahead and change it for left and right. So this is left, and this is going to be right, and that's how we'll get the directions of the room. Okay, so that's how they know what direction they are. So now they can be named whatever, except for start and end. We're going to keep those the same. Actually, we don't have to because we're doing it this way, but just keep them the same anyway, just in case we want to reference them later in the code. Okay. So if it's not special, it is going to do that. If it is special, it's going to insert that. Okay. So now, let's go to the new room generation script, and let's create the sequence. So local sequence equals mod.sort sequence, like that. And go ahead and run the game. Oh wait, actually no. Print sequence. and then run the game. Oh my god, I never did this. However, I should have done this 100 times. Oh, return module.room sequence. Okay, now it's just going to do 100 normal rooms, like this, level 1. What we're going to do is make it to where some rooms can be special. I didn't do this part. So for this, let's loop through the table. So to do that, let's do it like this. Or blank SA, which, let's do SR for special rooms, and iPairs module.special rooms, do, and then if table.find SR room numbers, thinking, because I feel like we want to get like an ID or something. Table.find, I guess I would be the ID for the sequence. Then special equals SR. Okay, so now when we run it, make sure you have the output open so you can see this. I'm going to make it a lot bigger. So the first room should be type start, as you can see, and the last room should be the end. Okay, and then somewhere in the middle here between 40 and 60 is going to be the boss level 1. Not me checking every single one of them. Oops. Oh, it's number 60. Okay, so, well, for me, it would be different for you, maybe. It's random. Okay, so that works. Shrink this output, that's way too big. Shrink it a lot. Okay, so we return the sequence. Now I want to go ahead and we need to give the directions. So remember how in our old room generation, we did this to get the directions? We're going to be doing that. I want to change it up just a little bit. So let us think about it. Okay. So let's do like the same thing. So after sort sequence, let's make a module.get direction, and we're going to add this to this table. So we're going to sequence ID and local special or blank special room. This is actually the same thing that we just did here. We need to check to see if it's a special room, because we're not going to assign a direction if it's not a special room. So anyway, if it's not equal to special, if special equal, oh my god, I can't type. And then we're pretty much going to do the same thing as we did here. I'm going to copy this and paste it here. We're going to get some errors. Direction chosen. If doesn't. Okay, change this to, that one was scaring at me, and underneath direction chosen, do if direction chosen doesn't equal straight. I think we had this somewhere in the other one. We had to have. Then mod. Perfect. Okay, and we don't have to return this. Instead, let's do module.room sequence, get the sequence ID, get the direction, and it's going to equal direction chosen. So that changes the sequence ID. So what if we do module.getDirection? Oh, and then it asks for the ID. So let's do this, for I equals 1, module.roomCount, do, so this would lead to each one. We want to do module.getDirection, I, delete this one here. So this will run for every single room. And this script right here is going to be changing a lot, because I'm thinking this is how we're going to be making our, as I was talking in the tutorial before about the procedural generation to where there's only certain rooms spawned at a time. That's going to be handled in this script. And also in the player handler, we'll add like a listener or something here. I think that's going to be the best way to do it. So anyway, if we run it, we'll see that every single table now would have a direction associated with it. Pretty smooth, pretty slick. Okay. So, oh, this is the old one. Transformation module. Okay. So, we're also going to have to be making the... Sorry, I'm thinking. We're going to have to actually, like, make the area, aren't we? Okay, so let's do another function underneath get direction, because I think we're going to be calling, I don't know, create room. So this is going to be creating our actual room, so get the sequence ID of it, and then we'll get all of the rooms, all rooms equals game.replicate.storage.rooms, get children, and then we'll get applicable rooms. I think you guys might remember doing this kind of in the other script. It's kind of the same basis. See, it's good that we did that before, because it's just, you do it simply like that, and then when you start doing the bigger, more advanced script like this, you understand the workflow already. The hard part's done. Now you have to make it do stuff. So because we're getting the sequence ID, we can just make these shorter variables. So we'll get like the local room type, we'll get the room direction, and we'll get the room. So this, I don't think we've covered this. My idea on this is we want, okay, this is like if it's dark or whatever. So the section equals nil, and we haven't set that up yet. I think I'm going to set that up underneath this stuff instead of having, like, we'll keep this on the bottom. But like here, we'll set up, what is it talking about? I forgot what it's called, setup sections. So we'll do that here, I think. Okay. So let's get the applicable rooms. So for blank room in iPairs, all rooms do if room get attribute type equals room type, then, and also, well, you know, it'd help if I spelled this stuff right, wouldn't it? And then also we want to get if the attribute is the direction. You can do either of these first, but I'm doing the direction first. I mean the type first, because there'll be less of them, I think. Or maybe not, who cares? Table.insert, applicable, oops, what is that? Applicable rooms, and then the room. Okay. And you're probably wondering why because we can't just find the first one, because here and enter it into the table, because then it's going to be the same one every time. So we have to get it randomly from this table now. So, you know, right here, I'm thinking if we have a section here, delete areas without section attribute. We'll get into that later. You can probably guess already what that means, but okay, so now we have to get a local room chosen equals applicable rooms math.random 1 applicable. Oh my god, stop doing that. Like, it doesn't even have an O in it. Okay. Now we want to put it in the game, put room in game. So local room instance is what we'll call it, equals room chosen. We will clone it just like we did in the future. If we don't want to clone it, let's make a note of that. So room can't be placed multiple times. Okay. Okay, anyway, room instance dot parent is game dot workspace dot rooms, and room instance dot name would be the sequence ID. Again, because, you know. And then here again, you remember how last time we had the listener here? Let's do another function right here to set up the door. So we'll call this module.setup. Set up door. And we'll pass the room. Sorry. Pass the room. And also we'd want to have the same thing, because I think last time this is how we did it, because I talked about doing something with a bindable or something. Choose, add to world, create. I think I had like something. Oh yeah, I didn't save it, remember? That's one of the things I'm missing out of. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to say, we don't even have to have this as a module function, we can just set it as a regular function. And we'll send the room. Well, I guess we could just send the door. It's like it knows what I'm doing. Okay, anyway. Okay, to set up the door, if not room, find, see if it has one, right? Then return end, that means just don't continue. Local open equals false. Room.door.touched. Connect function. Hit. Be nice if you guys already have it, you guys can probably just copy and paste it. If game.players find first child, hit.parent.name, then local player equals game.players find first child, hit.parent.name, open true.room.value would be that again, to number, room.name, and then if room.door get attribute. So this is if it's locked. I don't think I set this up last time. I think I forgot to. Don't worry about it because I'm not using that. So if it's not locked, and open equals, hold on. Well, yes. Why am I doing that? Oh, that's fine. That works. I don't know why I set it up like that, but that would work fine. So anyway, else, let's just go ahead and warn us. That's not warning. Hello, let me type this. Holy shit, okay. Anywho, so that's going to be to set up the door, and then to open the door, we'll do this thing. I'm going to say, I'm sending the whole fucking, I'm sending the door. Look at that. Room.door. Door. And then we'll say door.can collide equals false, and door.transparency equals 0.8. Okay. That's that. Let's go down back to where we were before I went off on that little tangent. Right here, I think? Yeah, equals secret. That's the last thing we did. Okay, so this is where we're setting up. Set up door. Room instance. Right? Yes. And then we're going to do that thing where we check to see if it was the last area, last room created. Set it as the last room created. So we want to see if there is one. So this is for the positioning here. Room instance. I love this. Pivot to module dot last room dot exit C-frame. I wonder if I can just get the pivot of that because it's the same. Exit, get pivot. It doesn't matter, it's going to do the same thing. Last room equals room instance. Anyway, I think this should work. Go ahead and hit run. Well, it's not going to because we have nothing calling it. So anyway, we can do mod dot create room. Well, let's do this first. This is going to be really messy for a bit. Argument 2, random intervals empty applicable. I spelled applicable wrong. That's not cool. Oh, I did it everywhere, so it doesn't matter. They said this is empty. Equals room. Oh, dude, look. I never set these to the table. So do this. Go to the right here and just say module.room sequence. Then you'll put the sequence ID, and you'll get the type. And you do this for all of them. And you're going to change the last thing, of course. Room generation valid argument at random. Okay, well, this is what I get for not doing it beforehand, too, but also, like, I do want you guys to be part of me with this bug fixing. But also, I hate the idea of you guys might know what's wrong and I don't. Type direction section. Direction, section, type. Type equals room type. Oh, get attribute. The get attribute is not just type, it's room type. Why? Dude, there's still something wrong with it. Okay. But that's one thing. Oh my god, I think I know what the issue is, and it's really, really dumb. Take the straight room, duplicate it, rename it. Boss1, the name doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Go to the room type and rename it Boss1. For the boss encounter 1. Oh my god, dude. Just like this. I'm an idiot, dude. Okay, so that was the issue. So it generates now 100 minutes. I'm at 46 minutes. I'm gonna write that down. Figured it out at 46 minutes. Had the bug at 35. So that took me a little bit. Okay. Anyway, there's our new room generation system so far. But what we wanted to do is make it to where some of these attributes can be shared between the rooms. Like, let's say we want this group of rooms that have nothing going on to have a similar feature, just to excite things a bit. So what we're going to do is go to the... I'm going to go right here. I'm going to start setting up the sections. I'm glad I marked that because it's taking me a little bit to So the first thing we want to do is set up the types of sections. Section types. And for one, I just want to have dark for right now because I don't know any other section ideas other than submerged, but we're not doing all that right now. Okay, so we'll just do this really quick. So local, the needed rooms for the section is going to be, let's say, 6. And the matched of alike rooms is going to be 0, so we're going to see what rooms are alike or whatever. So, okay, so for I equals 1, pound, module, that's not pound, module.room sequence do local room equals module.room sequence I, so that gets the table in the table. Global can be, and right now we just have level 1 rooms, so it can only be level 1. So anyway, we can set it to where if there's like level 1 and level 2, level 3, whatever, if they're still in a row, they can be counted as matched to where, you know, it doesn't break the sequence. But you don't want it to be so like a boss room would be in a section, if that makes sense. So that's why we do that. So anyway, if it finds that as can be table room dot type then matched plus equals 1, else we're going to set match all the way back to 0 because that broke the sequence. So anyway, if match reaches the needed, and we also want to set up, like, we don't want it every single time because that's going to be, we'll set up the variable later. Let's just go ahead and do it. So section type equals section types math.random 1 pound section types local size So the size of the section, we can have this random. So we'll do 4 to the max section size. And we can do like needed -2. So if we switch that, hello. Oh. Make sure you have your equal sign. Then we'll do another 4. We already did I. We'll do b equals 1. Size do. And this is where the changes will be made. Let's just add it to the table. Module dot room sequence. It'll be like I minus size minus v, and put it into the section. And the section will be section types. If you're wondering what the fuck this is, I just did it in my head real quick. This is looping through the rooms in your sequence. So that's just the ID of the room. So anyway, so we go ahead and that's fine. If you want to make it visible, which this is only going to be visible in the actual table, not this table. Well, yes, this table. So like it should be, see section dark. It should be in pretty much every single one. Actually, it popped up a lot less than I thought it should. Needed, matched, can be room type. I fixed the issue. So I added a few things. I'm sorry for the cutout. Complicated script. You're gonna run into some bugs. I only made changes here though. So I added, I'm trying to remember what I had there before, but I added this rarity. I don't know if this is the same. Match the 6 and whatever. Ignore this. Just kidding. Okay, anyway, so I added this rarity thing to where it doesn't happen so much. And there's that again, level 1. Match thing is the same, it goes down. Okay, this checks the rarity here, so that's new. You guys didn't have that. This is where the issue was, I'm pretty sure. I didn't have it setting back to 0, which is what broke it. Because it would just count up to 6, so then not go back down to 0, so. Anyway, it works now. So, we have that. So now we can make different types of sections. Okay. So this does pretty much the same thing right now, because we don't have different things set up yet with the models of the room. So I think we should go ahead and do it. So I'm going to try to figure out how to make actual, how to actually edit my videos and stuff on YouTube. But let's go ahead, and it's going to be a very long tutorial. We're going to take our rooms and stick them back in here. And we're going to do some very simple modeling. Okay. In fact, I think we can name all these something. I just want to make sure that the names don't matter. So let's go ahead and name them like nothing. Set them back in to rep. Run. Okay, fine. Control Z. Okay. So anyway, we have another room now. We have this other boss room. I'm going to set it right here. So anyway, this is like our entity room. We'll get into entities later. Definitely not right now. What I want to do right now is we're going to go ahead and create like walls and stuff. just finished doing a little bit of modeling just so it looks a little better. So we'll go ahead and, as you can see, doing block encased now. So anyway, if we play it, which is what I meant to do, I didn't mean to I'll count down from the animation, and as you can see, the issue with this is the dot value. I don't know why I did that. So delete the dot value. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, at least I think that's what the issue is. Yeah, okay, so now you're good, dude. You can just go through your rooms like so. Just like the best Roblox game you've ever played. So now we want to do that procedural generation thing. So, let's go ahead and do that. So, go back to your main script. This one right here, the new room generation, not the module script. And you are going to create... You're going to delete this. And you're going to create a function generate rooms. And you'll get the number of rooms you want to generate. And you're going to say if current room plus num greater than 100. This is like our debug, because we don't want it to go over 100. Then num equals, we'll do 100 minus current room, so that way we're going to do it by variables of 5. Let's just say you're doing something. Oh dude, fuck, I gotta make the variable. Okay, current equals 100. Okay, and you want to say local room count equals module dot room count. Anyway, so for I equals 1, num do, and you're gonna get the direction. Oopsies. Module dot get direction. You do the number. You do mod dot create room number. Okay, that's that. We also want to degenerate the rooms, or delete them, I guess. Local function delete rooms. Same thing. Number of rooms you want to delete. For I equals 1. Module dot room count. Do if game dot. Okay. Well, wait. Let's think about this for a second. We want to just do it starting from the way back. So you don't want to do it from where it was created, but to where the furthest back we can go. So because we have it as numbers, we can do this. We'll just do it with I. So it'll count out from 100. Then local room equals. And don't do it in brackets, do it like this, because you're not actually getting the number, because it does it like alphabetically, not like numerically. So like 1 and then 10 will be right after each other. It won't be like 1, 2, 3, 4. So do it that way. Okay, and then anyway, just destroy it. It's not going to break anything. The num equals num plus 1. If num equals, then break. Just to ensure nothing fucks. Okay. And then the reason we're doing this, actually, do you know what? Just because of all those issues we were having before, what if we did this in a P call? So let's do that. And also we have to do this. Okay, module dot get direction, current room, module dot create room, current room, and we'll say if error message, then we'll warn, and we'll say problem with module dot room sequence identifier, and we'll just say the type. Okay, let's see. Doobity-doo-doo. Generate areas. Okay, so I think on spawn, we'd want to generate a few. So let's just do 7. Ew, that's a lot. And then also, we're going to go based off of the player's progression. The player who's the furthest along, their progression. So what we can do is we can go to player handler, and we'll add a event, and we'll rename this player progressed. Okay, so we'll get game.service player handler player progressed event function get the player if player room value. So we won't do this because if it starts doing it like right, it's greater than 10. We want to go ahead and delete rooms, and we'll delete 5. And if it's not greater than 10, we'll still delete some because we don't need that many. So we'll delete like 3 of them. We don't want to delete 5 of them. So just there's going to be like 3 rooms, 2, 7, 5. There'll be like 4 rooms behind you at all times, or something like that. It doesn't really matter. Okay. So anyway, if we run it right now, it should create 7 rooms. No. Oh, well this isn't 100. Okay. So, yep, it creates 7 rooms. I have a clipping here for some reason. Something wrong with that spawn room, it looks like. Other than that, we're chilling. What the fuck's wrong with my spawn room? Start. Nothing. Look, dude, you have it happening twice. You're supposed to delete that. Okay, look how beautiful it is now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, it's perfect. So we do not need that script anymore. Okay. So now you're probably wondering, how do we get this happening? I want to do it in like increments of like well, we also need to generate areas. So generate room, and we'll get 5 of them. So we'll delete 5 and generate 5, except for the start, just because it's already gonna have 7. Okay. So go to the player handler, and we're just gonna go like right here, I guess. So we do like room value dot changed, and then if room value dot value is a multiple of 5 or whatever that means. It means like if it's divided by 5 to 0. So it's we're gonna see if it's the highest player. So local all players equals game.players get children for local highest actually. P, so it doesn't equal the actual player, and P dot room dot value is greater than or equal to P player dot room dot value, then highest equals false. I was like, what is this? All players. Oh, comma. And then right here, if highest equals true, then we'll fire the bindable. This is really, really messy. I hate this actually. So script dot player progressed fire. Oops. I hate this actually. Okay. Anyway. Oops. I didn't mean to run it. I meant to hit play. so we can test. So let's go ahead and open up the room so we can see that we have 7. And once we get to room 5, there should be some deleted and some added. 3, 4, oh, I guess 5 because. Okay, so now we have up to 10, so 5 were added and some were deleted. That's perfect. Okay, and I don't think we should have more than 11. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I think it should stay at 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so it is working perfectly. So this will just go on and on until you get to the end. I'm just doing a few more tests on it. It's doing great. I actually kind of like it. Okay, so